My name is Michael with Drainer Technologies. I hope you're having an excellent start to your week. Yesterday was February 16th, Sunday, February 16th, and some new legislation took effect yesterday that we need to talk about. In 2018, President Trump signed new law into act. One was called Kari's Law, and the other one was called the Baum Act. Now, Kari's Law was the result of a woman who was brutally murdered in her hotel room, and her 9-year-old daughter had gone to dial 911 to get help, and she could not get an outside line on the hotel's phone system to be able to get help in a timely fashion. If you're familiar with older systems, multi-line telephone systems, a lot of times you had to dial 9 or 8 in order to make an outside call. Well, with the effect of Kari's Law, that is now illegal for any new systems that are deployed as of today. So February 17th, 2020, moving forward, anytime someone dials a 911 call from a new telephone system, they have to be able to do so without dialing a code for an outside line, such as the number 9 or number 8 or some other code. Now, most modern telephone systems today already do this, but unfortunately, not all service providers configure the systems properly. So if your system today requires you to dial 9 before dialing an outside line, you might want to check with your provider and make sure that you can make emergency calls. Now, existing systems are exempt from this rule. However, it is a really good idea to make sure that your system is capable of doing this, not so much from a compliance perspective, but more so just from a general safety. So I would encourage you all today to check your system and make sure that you don't have to dial a code or a digit before accessing an outside line on your telephone system. If you need help trying to figure this out, feel free to reach out to us here at DTI, and we're happy to try to help you make that determination. The other part of this legislation was called the Baum Act. Now, Baum was a well-known politician and rulemaker in Washington, D.C., and so the legislation was named after him. But the Baum Act effectively states that anytime a 911 call is made from your premises using your business telephone system, that call has to send pertinent dispatchable location information about the caller. So that means something so much more than just the physical address of the building that the caller's calling from, but rather more pertinent details that would help emergency responders find the person who dialed 911. So in some cases, this may be a floor or a cube location, an office number. The legislation's kind of broad and wide in what it allows. So it's really up to each individual safety officer or risk department at each company to determine what is pertinent and what is meaningful to be able to help emergency responders. But that information is now required on new phone systems effective this date next year. So 2021, February of 2021, your new systems will have to be in compliance with this legislation. Now, again, they did grandfather in old systems or older platforms that would require a significant capital outlay in order to add these capabilities. So if you have a legacy system today, you are not required by law to bring that up to spec. However, any new systems are going to be required to have these features from both Kari's Law as well as the Baum Act. So if you're in the market for a new phone system, make sure that you talk to the provider and determine if that system is going to be capable of working within the constraints of the new Baum Act. Because like I said, in fact, I would venture to say 99% of systems available today are going to be able to meet the requirements of Kari's Law. Now, on that note, one point I forgot to mention about Kari's Law. There is an additional requirement for notification. And what that means is that if a 911 call is placed from your office, an extension in your building, that the system needs to notify a designated person or group of persons within your organization that a call was made to emergency services. And this is to help expedite the response of first responders coming into the building to make sure that they can find those individuals. So not only do you have to be able to dial out without a code or a prefix, you also have to be able to send a notification, and this could be by text, by email, or by phone call from your telephone system to another party in your building, somewhere centrally located. So like a front desk, a security office, a reception area, something along those lines, to make sure that somebody else on premise is aware that there's an emergency going on. So if you've got questions about Kari's Law or the Baum Act, feel free to post them on this video, and I'll try to respond to those the best that I can. If you've got deeper questions and you want to find out if your systems are capable or compliant or capable of being compliant, feel free to reach out to us at drainertech.com, and we'll be happy to try to help you make those determinations. Thanks for joining me today. My name is Michael with Drainer Technologies. I hope you have a fantastic week.